intuition is a beautiful gift, and it's usually called the gift of a woman. But we're finding out that the men's intuition is just as strong.
Yeah.
But what happens, where it comes from, is that the men doesn't realize that when they cut their hair, that's where the intuition falls to the ground.
I was just reading about this. Yeah, it made me self-conscious about my hair.
And you forget your girlfriend's name. You get forgetful, you know?
Yeah.
You forget their birthday.
Yeah.
You forget their last name.
Well, things about my family too, you know, and appointments, things like that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So
I pulled my
animals,
antenna.
yes, animals have a lot of hair, a lot of fur. They're really intuitive, you know?
Yeah.
So if those of you that are hunters, you can watch these animals. They're little frolicking little guys on the fields and eating this and that.
Yeah.
The day of the hunting season opens up, they're all gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they feel the energy.
Yeah.
And your energy is very, very strong. And it doesn't matter if you're voicing it in this manner, or if you're whispering it. It still carries energy. So when you walk in a room, if two people are whispering, you could feel that energy.
Right, right.
And when they're talking about you,
Yeah.
they feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it.
To attend or live stream the next Star Knowledge Conference, go to starknowledgeconference.com.
It helps to ground in this energy of intuition is they did a study before the war in Vietnam. They did a study to see who were the best trackers were, because like all wars, they're basically planned out 15 years ahead of time. So they wanted some good trackers. So they did this study. And where this came from was this daughter of this teacher in this university. Her father used to be one of those, the classic look of the dress code, you know, nice suit and hair parted right in the side and flipped over. You know, use a lot of butch wax and grill cream and a little bit of this, a little dab of Duya stuff. And he was a classic teacher. Now all of a sudden he started coming home, and she noticed his face, all the little pieces of hair start sticking out a little bit more and more. And she was kind of wondering what's going on here. Pretty soon his hair started growing out. And he was breaking all the dress codes of the system. And pretty soon all these other men start doing the same. So you have that classic professor look now, you know, that Dr. Joe Plum over there. So you see the guys wearing big beards, they're up there talking, their hair is long, and there was a reason for that. So she didn't know, but she was worried about her father. So she went to his office when he was gone, and looked at all the stuff that he was bringing home. She went through it, and they found a study, Vietnam. They went and they researched trackers, and they ended up with the results of this research that these Native American men were pretty cool. They were good trackers, some of the best. That was the result. So what they did is they drafted a whole bunch of Native American guys and put them in the service. And they took them through boot camp. They did everything that. Then they went back to after basic training, they went home, partied up, and they come back in to do the other training, the war games and things. So what they found out was that they couldn't do anything. They were like everybody else, you know, show me the way, tell me something so I could do something, because I'm not in my own environment. I'm under your orders. So anyway, they did the war games, and they just like, forget it, they all died, you know. Nothing happened. And so when they went back, the officer saying, I thought you told us that these Native American people were good trackers. He said, yeah, that's true. That's what we found out. So they're trying to say, okay, what's the difference? What happened here? What's going on here? And so they did a little study here. Okay, all these guys had hair before they went to service. So when they went in there, they shaved it all off. So they said, oh, maybe that's the thing. Go back and do another research and find out, give us some good trackers. So when they came back with the research, the same thing, the same results was that these Native American men were good trackers. So what they did, they drafted a whole bunch of men in the service again. This time they didn't cut their hair. They didn't cut their hair. They let it go because it's an experiment. So when they did their basic training, they went out back home, they come back in, they did the war games, and they won every little game that ever was put up against them. And one of the things that they did was they had feelings. I would have this feeling something's going to happen. Let's go over here. And they would surprise their attackers. They would win these war games because they had their hair. So they came up with the result that your hair acts as little antennas out into the auric fields of others. And depending on your auric field, they'll gain a lot of information. So when the men, they come home with their short hair, they try to lie to their women. The women, they already know. You know, they feel it. They feel it strong. The men, they don't know. They don't know what's going on. They can't lie to the women. They can't get over on their women, you know. So, but if I say that if if the man starts, they cut their hair, and they start getting forgetful. They forget their wife's birthday. They forget their anniversaries. They forget when to come home. They forget they're married. They get really forgetful. So when you start growing your hair is important. Your body hair will tell you. If your hair stands up in the back of your neck, what is that feeling that comes with it? Yeah, you turn around and run. If you get hair standing up on your arms, what is that? I always see people like, hey, my hair's standing up. You know, confirmation, you know. So let your hair grow. And when the younger men, they started doing this, they started feeling this, and they started like revolting. I want my hair to grow. And we see that a lot of men are losing their hair, but so don't worry about it, because all your hair in your nose starts growing out, and your hair starts coming out of your ears, and your eyebrows start getting thicker, you know.
For more information on the next Star Knowledge Conference, go to starknowledgeconference.com.
How you doing, YouTube? It's Jay Loves You Too. Here again for another video. In this particular video, I'm going to talk about the significance of hair, and we need to understand what hair truly is. A lot of people don't know what hair is, and there is much that science is yet to tell you about the true function of hair and why do we grow hair. I'll first start by saying hair is not dead protein like what they teach in schools currently. They teach people that hair is just dead protein. I'm telling you now that hair is living tissue. It depends on what hair type you have, but for this particular video I'm going to speak of kinky hair, black hair, and I'm going to basically break down some elements or some things you should know about the functionality of your hair. Your hair is an extension of your nervous system. If you want to know how your nervous system looks like with all the wires and connections, just take a good look at the top of your head. That's basically the nature of your nervous system in your body. And the hair on top of our heads is basically an extension of our nervous system. Just like inside the body, your nervous system is the medium by which your brain power, your thought power can take manifestation in your body, and your nervous system is basically the tool your body uses to send messages and so forth. Just like inside the body, the nervous system on top of your head, your hair, serves exactly the same function. Believe it or not, your hair is a form of a antenna. It's basically like your eyes. It's an antenna that receives signals and it dishes out signals. You really need to understand that your nervous system is powered by electricity, is powered by magnetism, is powered by holographic energy. And you need to understand that your hair is your nervous system, and by cutting your hair off, you're basically cutting off your charge. When you look at the anatomy of the hair, it's like a spring, and as you compress this spring, what happens? Kinetic energy is generated, and that's why nappy hair is always prone of compressing. And this here is a function of generating energy. By compressing your hair, you're holding in that electrical magnetic charge, and that's basically the role of your hair. Your hair is an insulator. It keeps the energy from the solar radiations, from all different avenues, and it's basically an insulator for that energy. I'd like you to know that your hair is basically magnets, and the more hair you have, the better your ability to attract certain things into your aura. And this is a science that we have forgotten, and it's a tragedy because so many people are trying to attract love to themselves. So many people are trying to attract certain people to help them on their journey. And you need to understand that the roles, one of the main functions of your hair is basically to attract people to you. It's not by coincidence why different tribes will always use the same hairstyles within their tribe. And this is because of the energetic relationship hair has with other people. If you have similar qualities in hair with individuals, you will often be more attracted to those individuals, and that is why it's very easy to find individuals that have the popular hairstyle dreadlocks to have such a strong bond, and that's the magnetic principles in the hair taking place. Hair is used to attract people on a similar wavelength, and your wavelength is being stored in your hair. Your hair is basically your brain. All the energies being processed in your brain circulates at your hair, and overall these energies will balance out and start projecting a wavelength. And this wavelength that your hair is projecting, that's what attracts so many things to you, and it gives you a big boost in your aura field. But the tragedy is that most people are cutting off this divine organ, and they're basically numbing themselves out. Your nervous system is a tool used to gather information. Your hair, one of the main functions of your hair is to gather information. It's like a sixth sense. It's like a fourth pair of eyes. You got your two eyes, you got your third eye, and then you got your fourth eye, and that is your hair. By cutting off your hair, you'll be less sensitive to subtle stimuli, and the more hair you have, better your ability to connect with your immediate environment. Like I said before, your hair is like antennas, and anything alive is producing magnetism of some kind. It's producing some type of holographic energy, and your hair it's like a radar. It allows you to connect with anything that is producing energy. When you cut your hair off, what happens? You basically isolate yourself from the whole world, and you just become numbed out. Humans were masters of the planet. They were supposed to be connected to everything, just like in the Avatar movie. They had a complete balance with their surroundings. But unfortunately, when you cut your hair off, that connection is harder to maintain. And what is the end result? You have humans living a cancerous lifestyle. They're beyond the natural order, and everything is just so messed up. So this video is just a quick breakdown on hair, basically. The more hair you have, the more power your nervous system will be able to generate. The more hair you have, the stronger your aura's ability to attract certain things to you. If you're looking for love, if you're looking for companionship, the best thing for you to do is to grow your hair long, to have a magnetic center on top of your head. When you shave your hair off, or the less energy you have up there, your hair, the less your ability to attract. You will need to know that your hair is living tissue. Your hair is meant to be respected. The more black hair is meant to coil up, it's meant to be compressed, it's meant to tangle. You should know that anytime you straighten your hair, anytime you remove that curl and make it straight, you are losing potential magnetism your hair could have potentially generated. Remember, your hair is springs. When the springs compress, electricity is generated, magnetism is generated. But if your hair is straight, or if you make your hair straight, or if you tamper it, you're losing potential magnetism. Your hair encases your thoughts. It's basically history. It's basically your database for your journey. So you can really tell when somebody went through a lot by seeing their long hair. It encases all their thoughts and stuff like that. But yeah, man, this video is straight out from the blue. I'm just here sun gazing, and I just wanted to do a video. So I just decided to speak about hair. There will be more videos about hair, but this will be just a quick breakdown, a quick summary of all the good things you should know about hair. Hair absorbs the sunlight for you. It's like an extra pair of skin, an extra pair of eyes for you. And your hair is basically your power. When you cut your hair off, you basically numb yourself off. You basically isolate yourself from the planet, and you lose your ability to generate energy. Your hair springs, guys. When you cut off your hair, you're losing magnetism. The more magnetism you have, the greater your impact on the world. Sorry, the batteries had, got low. But basically, the more magnetism you have, the more power you have, the greater your ability to manipulate reality. You need to understand that your hair is like batteries. Your hair does encase water, and what you need to know about water, anywhere you find water, that's where you find life. Your hair is like a battery, and it sits on top of your head, and with the water, it basically stores your aura field. It basically stores your thoughts. And you need to start to see your hair as something very significant, because it's a tragedy, and people, they know that a great deal of our power comes from our hair, and that's why they want to make it so beneficial of you cutting it. They want you not to feel as though you can function in society if your hair is long. They want you to feel as though you can't function in society unless your hair is cut, and that's a big lie. Please don't cut your hair. You cutting your hair is like you spitting in the face of your ancestors. It's like you slapping your ancestors. Your hair is there for a reason. In case it's water, and water has consciousness. Water can store memories. Water changes its shape based on your thoughts, based on the sounds in the atmosphere. And you need to understand this thing on your head isn't dead protein, it's you, it's your essence, it's life. There's going to be more videos on here. I'm going to teach you certain techniques, certain things. You already know, man, it's all love. Jay loves you too, I love you so much. There's no cause of anything. Embrace divinity, embrace your Buddhahood. You are the Buddha, you are divine, you are love. Hey. Alright guys, see you next time.